We are here, DPS Podcast, episode 158, giving our reaction to the Video Game Awards, which we just sat here and watched for going on 4 hours. Thanks, Jeff. So we're going to give our reactions to everything and how, this turned out and all that good stuff. And what we thought about the Game of the Year winners and all that, as well as the surprises. But let's get to the surprises first. And the question I want to ask is, what was the one game that you were most excited to see out of all the announcements? And I'll start with you, Eric.
Yo, I'm busting in the door like Kramer. You know where I'm at. that Sega announcement.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was it for me, man. I was already done. I was smoking a cigarette.
Had your feet up on the table, smoking a cigarette.
Post-coitus feeling.
You was like Samuel L. Jackson out here with his feet up on the table during Jurassic Park, looking for the key.
Yeah, man. Breathing a little bit heavy. Smoking a square,
smoking a cigarette, like how he locked this building down like this. Yeah, that was you.
Ice water on the nightstand. Yeah, man.
Oh man. Yeah. Shout out to you, man.
Shout out to your boy Roy with the $5 super chat. Says Happy Game Awards. Yes. Look. I thought it was a good show. It was a good award show. It started to drag a little near the end, but it was a good. It had a lot of good surprises. I think a lot of outside. I don't think Nintendo did much of anything, but I think PlayStation and Xbox showed well.
Yeah, they represented. So yeah, but other than the second thing for me, I think like the nice, the couple of little shadow drops in there, but I don't want to take them all up. So let's spread it around. But the second one starting off for me was like huge. That was huge.
Ramon, what was your biggest announcement? Which one got you the most hype?
Well, I guess if Eric was smoking a cigarette, I was smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
So for the same announcement?
Yeah, man. Sega, I was a Genesis kid, and Revenge of Shinobi, Shadow Dancer, Shinobi 3, I've been dying for Shinobi since Shinobi 3 on the Genesis. Okay, that's how long I've been waiting on Shinobi, and to see that, and then they brought Golden Axe, another one that I enjoy, and Streets of Rage, and I got a little dark secret that I'm gonna share with you guys. I got a dark secret to share with you guys.
Huge.
Yeah, that was
I have never played Jet Set Radio.
Oh man, you in for a treat, man. Jet Set Radio is so good.
Yeah, that's all I've ever heard is great things about it. So when I saw
if you want a good spiritual successor, Ramon, definitely play Bomb Rush, Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I heard that was very good. That's on my wish list. I haven't copped it quite yet. But Forte, are you about to complete the triple alliance here with the Sega love? What was your favorite announcement?
No, listen, man. That when I saw it, I was like, man, that Sega stuff was I was not expecting it at all. So if you want to say of the most thing that you were just super surprised and you was like, I'm glad that was here, that would definitely be it. But the only thing that I tuned into this show is to see gameplay for Hellblade. And once I saw it, I was like, oh, we good. The game I care about the most is coming out sometime next year. I don't know why I know why they're afraid to give us a date, because they don't want to move it and get people's hopes up. But once I saw that, I was pretty good. But if I had to talk about the thing that I just didn't expect to see that surprised me the most, it would be that Sega stuff. Because I was like, yo, this is stuff that the games we grew up on. And I was like, this looks cool, bro. And I was, that's definitely a day one when it does release.
Now, I'll say this, and I said this on Twitter. I'm glad they show gameplay, and I've been saying for months, don't show Hellblade again unless you're going to show some gameplay. So I'm glad that they are listening. Not to me, but they're listening to some people who have repeated the same things, and they actually show gameplay this time. That said, I think the gameplay looked a lot like what Hellblade 1 gameplay was. Didn't look all that different, which is kind of pretty much fine. I didn't think the gameplay for the combat for Hellblade 1 was bad. I just thought it was shallow. Like there wasn't
was the only
any depth to it.
It was the only thing that, for me, it was the only thing that was like in the game itself. Like I didn't have a problem with the combat, but if I had to say the one thing they needed to improve on the most was the combat. So that's where I always can say, if you want the game, it was just like
puzzles kind
of in the puzzle. Like I said, the biggest thing that we said with Tears of the Kingdom was like, how are you going to make it better? Well, they fixed a lot of the things that were the issues in that game. That's why it ended up in the category that it ended up in. And that's the same thing I say with Hellblade is, are we going to fix that, make that combat better? You know, like I hate saying fix it because there was nothing really wrong with it, but it needed to be more fleshed out. It needed to be more fleshed out.
It needed more variation.
Right, and to be fair, we don't know a lot. I mean, like, there's not much to they show combat, but they didn't show a lot of it. We saw like 3-second clips, you know, here and there. But the two things that I noticed with it was you have an NPC partner with you, and that brings a different dynamic to the combat. You're not the only one that enemies focus on, and potentially you might have like combination attacks or something like that may happen there. Like even saw a part where she was about
partner attacks and stuff,
and the partner tackled the enemy, and then we saw that she was not just using just the sword. And just one sword, like in Hellblade 1, she was using a hatchet as well. So she has more weapons, which is something that people complained about, and they added an NPC partner. So that brings a different dynamic. So there is differences there, but it looks the same. So if you were someone who wanted it to look like, I don't know, God of War or something different, then you're this is going to be the game for you. But Ninja Theory they made their bones on combat, so in particular melee combat. So you gotta let them cook and give them the opportunity to really show what they can do. So I'm glad they showed it, but I want to see more, you know.
There's potentially one other dynamic to this, and that is like, if you like the reveal trailer way back in 2019, as well as the one with the giant, it's her and a team as well. So I think it's, especially considering what the visuals look like, it could be a really ambitious thing where not only do you have someone with you, but you could have a team with you, and you're all engaged in combat, and that would be a technical accomplishment for a game that looks like that, and have a team of characters all fighting other enemies. That could be exciting.
I think that's a possibility, but I'm not quite like, just based upon what we saw in the trailer, that one guy seemed to get a lot of attention. Not as much attention as Senua, but like clearly the detail in the mocap for him is on par with hers, which is usually what you see from someone who is like a main character or a main side character. You know how like if you play Control, you know which characters are just there and which characters are going to have a lot of dialogue, because you can tell with the amount of detail they put on the actual character. But I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. For myself, my biggest announcement, if y'all know me, y'all already know what I'm about to say. Exodus by Archetype Entertainment. That's also
that's why I left that one alone for you. I left that one there for you.
That's also, for me, that's also my most shocking announcement, because I did not anticipate seeing anything from them yet. And I actually kind of like, not necessarily forgot about them, but I knew that what they were working on was really early in development when I was making videos on them. And so I was, I gotta let them cook. So I just kind of just left it alone. But to now see where they're at, I'm like, yo, this looks good. You see a lot of Mass Effect vibes with it. Drew Karpyshyn was the lead writer for Knights of the Old Republic 1, Jade Empire, as well as Mass Effect 1 and 2. So this dude's resume is ridiculous. Like he is probably one of the best video game writers that are out there in gaming, and he is a part of Archetype Entertainment, which are all former BioWare developers. and that I can see where they're kind of going with like a stylized art direction instead of just like, you know, trying to make it the characters look have like a ton of detail and everything, but the story elements look good. It's got that same camera angle as Mass Effect and everything. It looks good. It looks good. So
Yeah,
I can't wait to play that.
Yeah, that looks really good.
Let's discuss the actual game of the year winner, which is turned out to be Baldur's Gate 3. Forte, what are your thoughts about Baldur's Gate 3 winning?
I mean, it was kind of. I mean, you could kind of see the build up. It kind of was. I mean, think about it. You know, it was like how Elden Ring was last year. Like once that game came out, it was like the whole. It was like just the love and admiration they got, especially when they were kind of being kindly being attacked by other developers coming out saying, you know, all the stuff that they were saying, and I think it kind of rallied with a lot of other people too. The thing that's interesting, the only reason I didn't think it was going to win because I didn't think enough people that would enjoy that type of gameplay will actually, like, that many people would play it in order to give it enough votes to do it. Now, let's be for real, a lot of these people that probably voted on these awards didn't play a good majority of the games, and they just kind of they just went with the status quo on what they think probably deserved it the most, and that doesn't take anything away. But you know, it was just real interesting to finally get a resolution to it. I mean, they definitely deserve. I mean, you know, when you go completely all out and, you know, basically do what nobody else is doing when it comes to, like, you know, your narrative, your gameplay, your overall story structure and stuff like that, a true RPG at its fullest. I think that is something that a lot of people have been hungry for, and it's been kind of missing inside of gaming, where it's just true, like, this is like true to form what an RPG was growing up, and it just happened to be part of a beloved franchise that a lot of people remember and stuff like that. And like you said, SloMo, they never made really a bad game. You know, when Divinity 2 was out, it was like one of those games that people was like, oh, it's really niche, but I guess the name wasn't big enough to kind of like catapult it to where Baldur's Gate is as of right now.
Yeah, but Baldur's Gate's a classic IP.
It's a classic IP, and so more eyes on it. So that's the biggest. Exactly. That's why I think, you know, a lot more people had his eyes on it. Congratulations to them, because every game that was in that Game of the Year category, I can see why they could win it or why they should win it. But as much as I go with Zelda all the time, it was just more of like, they did everything I wanted them to do in that game to make it better. Resident Evil 4, you know, was really, like, my daughter wanted that game to win, because that's mostly because she's a Resident Evil fan. Alan Wake, you know, I felt like the love and equity that game was getting because it was like recency bias. Like, a lot of people just were shocked how great that game looked. Because I think that, like you said, that game looks incredible. And it's kind of hard to, like, not give the nod to some games like that when they just have an amazing looking game and the story is, as you know, take or leave how you feel about the story and the gameplay, but that speaks to a lot of people, like the way that game played itself out. And I think the one thing that Zelda had, you know, at its detriment is the fact that it did win in 2017. They did kind of, you know, they did do some stuff to make the game better, and I do agree it should be in the conversation, but not win over some of the other games that did some brand new things. Like, I thought Mario Wonder had a better chance of winning than Zelda, because they actually did something different than any other Mario 2D did before this point. So they definitely deserve it. I just didn't think enough people was going to vote for it, because that's not the type of game that a lot of people play.
Got you. Ramon, what are your thoughts on Baldur's Gate 3 winning?
Even though I have yet to touch the game, I plan to. I'm excited for them because, like a lot of what Forte said, I mean, in a way, they put other developers on notice. They had developers up in their feelings because of so much that they did and accomplished with that game. And also,
the developers are like, that ain't even right, man. We can't do that.
Yeah.
And they only did it because they got Dungeons and Dragons with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there was some haterade off that shit. I remember.
Oh yeah,
it was hate, bro.
Yeah, they was up in their feelings. But if you look at what Baldur's Gate did this year, they did the exact same thing that Elden Ring did last year.
Yep.
They got gamers who do not normally play that type of game to play that game.
Good point.
And that right there is the definition of what a game of the year does.
I agree.
E, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, Ramon just kind of hit that on the head, and that's also like how I'm not saying that this will be the case for Baldur's Gate 3, but that's how over time you end up becoming you could end up becoming a game of the generation. You know,
true.
Because what starts to happen is, like you said, you know, you become like a zeitgeist game where you're just a part of a conversation, a larger conversation over a longer period of time, right? So all the categories that were there, I was like, yeah, like Forte said, like any one of these could be deserving depending on who you talk to, how you think about it, right? And Zelda, something like a Zelda seems like a give me just because of what it is and who, you know, put it out there, right? But my heart kept saying, even though I haven't touched the game, I was like, Baldur's Gate 3 is probably going to be the one that wins it because it's a zeitgeist game. It's a game that keeps coming back to the conversation, right?
Yep.
And there are certain games that kind of do that, whether it's part of a controversy, whether it's a part of just the fact that people are enjoying it. Like Ramon said, it's a game that gets people to try it. All those things come in together to make it like, you know, a bigger than life experience and a bigger than life event. So yeah, so I think that's definitely, is it a perfect game? It doesn't sound like it, you know, but it sounds like the thing where it's like, it's not enough to derail it.
Right.
You know, like of everything that's presented and everything that's there. And like SloMo said, it's Larian, this is like them getting their flowers at this point. Like they've been there. We've been here before. You know, we've been here doing this, and now, you know, we're getting recognized for it. You know, and kind of say the same thing about some of the, like other studios who might start to pop up and show what they're actually capable of and what they could be doing. And I'm kind of hoping that'll be like for Ninja Theory. Like we said, we got to see combat. But I'm hoping everything else that they kind of put into there, they kind of puts them out there because they've been there. They didn't just get good because they got acquired. Like they've been there doing what they're doing, you know, so cream rises to the top. So yeah, so Larian got their flowers. They deserved it.
Yeah. For me, I'll just say, there was a narrative that has been going around in the game industry for so long. And that narrative has always been that, you can't do that anymore. You have to advance with the times. You have to change a particular kind of game design because that's archaic. And I've always kind of felt like that's just not true. You just gotta do it well. Like people will say about BioWare, oh, well, BioWare needs to change with the times. No, there are people who would love to get the new Mass Effect game in the same game design as Mass Effect 2. It just has to have amazing characters, a great story, and well written. It needs to hit those things and play well. That will get people who say BioWare is back. We don't want different. We want quality. And that's what Larry improved with Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, dice rolls, typical Dungeons and Dragons kind of stuff. The game design is not super advanced, but for some of these newer gamers, it's new to them because they ain't never played it before. But for everyone else, that's all like, nah, you gotta step your game, or you gotta move with the times. No, you don't. If you can deliver a level of quality that no one else can, just as long as there's quality, that's all that matters. And so I'm glad that they won, because typically when you see a Game of the Year winner, it destroys narratives and it actually kind of proves to game developers that are going to publishers trying to get games like that approved that it can be successful and can be done. The game is a commercial success and a critical success. If I want to make that kind of game, I'm not going to get a publisher pushing back at me saying that you can't make that kind of game in 2023 slow-mo.
Yep. And that's what makes awards important. Yep.
Right. And this proves the narrative wrong. So I'm glad to see that. I just do want to say this real quick. And I want to know y'all thoughts on it. I think I gotta give Xbox their flowers. And I gotta give them their flowers because last year I gave them the smoke for not showing up. All they did last year all they did was have Game Pass ads, like 3 Game Pass ads throughout the entire show. I was disappointed, especially considering that every time they've shown Hellblade, they showed at the Video Game Awards. Every time that they showed that Xbox Series X there. They had created a expectation with them that at the Video Game Awards they're going to show stuff, and they didn't do anything last year. And I was disappointed with that. Now I know there's some people that was just like, oh, well, they saved everything for their developer direct. Like, you can do both. You can show everything they showed tonight. They can just expound upon with more information and more to show next month. So I thought that narrative was stupid. What I would say is they heard the criticism. They didn't get in their feelings. They showed up big tonight. All the Atlas games that they got the marketing for are in Game Pass was shown with new footage. They finally showed Hellblade gameplay. Hellblade 2
they showcased those well too, by the way, in slow-mo. Those Atlas games, those showcased really well tonight.
Yes,
and
they did.
And the biggest thing to shout out the Lord Cognito with the Iron Lords with the just one, and what for those who don't understand what that means, the just one is people say that Xbox doesn't need to make a game or their games the way Sony makes their games, where they have a very narrative-driven third-person perspective, sad dad kind of games or whatever, right? But those games can be done well or extremely popular and sell very well. What's wrong with just having just one of your games like that? And it's and they busted that narrative because they said in the interview that's a single-player game and it's third-person perspective. Excellent. They also busted the other narrative where people were damage control on the fact that Xbox was the only platform that did not have a superhero game. PlayStation had Spider-Man and Nintendo has Marvel Ultimate Alliance. They're the only one that didn't have an exclusive, or what we believe to be exclusive, superhero game. They may have potentially bust 2 narratives all at once. So I have to give them their flowers. They showed very well tonight. They came correct. And that's what I was looking for. I got you. And if there are people out there who will not give them their credit, and what I can't stand are people who pretend to be objective, but whenever it's time to be objective, they're picking up that goalpost and they're pushing it beyond the field that's in the parking lot because they don't want to actually just give credit when it's due. I'm giving credit when it's due. They showed very well. That's what I want to see every single time there is a show. I want to see them showing why I should own an Xbox or, indulge in their platform on PC.
Can I back? Now I want to back you up on one thing. Speaking of, giving, because Xbox showed up, but at the same time, I want to go back to the Larian Baldur's Gate 3 thing real quick. I know we're gonna move on from that. This is that pivotal point where Xbox dudes put your money where your bitching was. Because you were like, well, it's not there. It's not there. It's not doing this. It's there now.
Yep.
So don't start now with the whole, well, I'll wait for Game Pass or it's not in Game Pass. I'm already seeing people asking the question, well, no Game Pass? It's like, and that's fine. That's fine for people to ask, if you weren't one of those people that was just like, but we saw people going in on Larian, about why this game is skipping and why this and that and this and that. And now it's there. So don't shy away.
Yeah. I don't want to. It's fine to ask the question. Is it in Game Pass? After the question is asked, if you're interested in the game, what I want to hear is, okay, all right, I'm about to buy that. Because what a lot of guys do is they ask if it's in Game Pass so they can do their typical cat situation where they pretend like they're interested in it. They already subscribe to Game Pass for other things. They pretend like they really care about the game. They install it because it costs them nothing. They play it for like 5 minutes. They take a couple of screenshots. They post them on Twitter and they pretend like, hey, Game Pass got a W. And then they uninstall it and go on about their capping lives. Actually, spend money on the game. It's not in Game Pass. So what? You didn't get this one. Boo-hoo. You want to play a great RPG? Yeah. Look, you got other great stuff going in the Game Pass.
Exactly. Remnant 1, Remnant RPG? 2.
Yeah. Buy the game and enjoy it like the rest of us did. So, yeah, exactly. That's off my soapbox.
Yeah. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Okay, no problem. What are your thoughts about Xbox's showcase? Or Xbox's presence at the award show?
I mean, listen, man, the thing is they have way too much to show. Like, they can't just, as much as a lot of people say they can do a lot of stuff with their own showcases, it's way too much. And when you have that much content and those many studios, and we still have a bunch of studios that we haven't heard from in a while, when it comes to a lot of the games that they're talking about. So this is just a good start, but I'm definitely happy that they did show, because I was the same way last year. I was like, dude, where's Hellblade at? You showed it every year at the Game Awards, and then it was just silent, nothing, and just Game Pass commercials and stuff like that, like everybody was saying earlier. So I'm definitely pleased and happy with the direction that they're going, and it just seems like they're just willing to just talk about the games and not talk about everything else around the games. The games kind of speak for themselves, and then once those games come out, trust me, you'll have an opportunity to kind of bloviate on everything that you want to talk about, and pump up your Game Pass numbers and talk about how Game Pass is this and that. I just want to see the games at this point, and seeing Hellblade there was a start. Hi-Fi Rush getting its just due and actually winning a couple of awards was actually really, really cool too.
I thought only won one. It won two.
Yeah. I think you're right. You did only just won one. Won the
Forza
audio.
Motorsport won two.
Yeah, that's right. Forza won two. But I like that. The biggest thing is now, where do we go from here? I'm really hoping to hear something about an Xbox showcase coming soon, maybe a developer direct talking about some games in the future. The only thing that I wish they would have did more is like kind of narrow down the release date on when Hellblade in 2024, at least give us a window. We didn't get that. We just got the year.
Maybe they're saving that for
the
developer direct next month.
But that's what I think. Announcing the developer direct during the show would have probably been a really good thing, because now the conversation goes to Xbox showed up at the Game Awards, and we know what we're looking forward to for the next thing that Xbox is going to talk about. Now, I'm not going to ask for too much, because we didn't even get this much last year. So I'm definitely happy that they're doing that. I'm just looking forward to what the next thing and what the next narrative is going to be around Xbox. But the only thing I am disappointed in is the fact that they are not clear and precise on the things that they got going on with games that they have, or not games, because we don't even know what the deal with that with Blade is right now. We just know that Arcane is making it. Is it a third-party game? Is it a first-party game? I mean, is it going to be a third-party game, or is it going to be a game that's only on Xbox and only on Game Pass?
Yeah, and that's the only. Yeah, that's my.
That's the only thing. That's the only criticism I have for them.
If you don't explicitly show that in the trailer, then you need to have Dinga, the lead director, explain that to when he had this interview with Jeff Keighley. And if Jeff didn't ask the question, then he should have just interjected with that information in there, because unlike PlayStation, it's not a guarantee that if they show a game, like when they showed God of War Ragnarok DLC, I mean, that like no one was like, was God of War Ragnarok on the Xbox? No, we already know what's up. You already know with their games where anything is going. So when they announce a new game, when they announced Wolverine, we all knew Wolverine was going to be exclusive.
Yep.
To PlayStation, and then eventually come to PC. So it's a little bit different with Xbox. That's not a guaranteed no. So like you have to explain those things. Now I do believe, because this was a game that was considered when in leaked documentation an unannounced licensed game, and this was in documentation that they had as they were acquiring ZeniMax Media. So this was something they had a deal they had already made. Now, like Indiana Jones, I do believe it was intended to be multi-plat when they made the deal, but potentially, like Indiana Jones, it could be when they went to Marvel, Disney, and said, we would like to make sure Indiana Jones only goes to the platforms that we wanted to go to. Let's renegotiate this deal, because you're not going to get a segment of sales from one of the platforms that you thought you were going to get it from. That they probably did the same thing with Blade. Like, it doesn't make any sense to do that for Indiana Jones, but not for Blade. So, all that said, like, I think that we are, we'll probably get clarification on that within, the next day or two. But these little communication mishaps, these are things that I complain about Sony about, because Sony will have these issues too. And I just, it's easily avoidable,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it. I don't have anything else you guys want to say about the award show. Anything else that you guys want to discuss? Anything that you saw that you thought was worth discussing?
Well, I just wanted to tie us up too much longer. I just want to throw out there also Black Myth Wukong.
Oh yeah, it looked amazing.
Yep, that's it. That's all I got to say.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Yep. Yo.
And that's another, like you said, Slomo earlier. That's one of those games. Don't call me. Don't talk to me. Don't text me.
Yep.
Right.
Facts.
Facts. All that stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Black Myth Wukong, like that. I mean, I can't wait to hear like just the sound, the surround sound. But Black Myth Wukong is gonna be a big one for me, and I've been saying since the beginning, like, of this gen, like, all I wanted from Xbox was freaking games. I don't care about Game Pass. I want games, and they showed games, and that made me happy. And this was what I was waiting to see. And messaging notwithstanding, because they need to work on their messaging, just like their best buddy PlayStation need to work on their messaging. Both of them do. But I am like, when I originally bought my Series X, it was for stuff like this. So, I'll still be obviously playing their games, but I am very happy that they came correct. They showed games. They showed gameplay finally. And what they showed us will carry us long enough for them to get it together to show us, Fable and Avowed and so forth. Like, they showed us enough to carry us for while they're preparing to show us what's coming down the line. So they put on a strong showing, and I'm really happy with them.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm hyped for First Descendant. At least getting a release season for First Descendant, which is summer. I think summer is a good time period for First Descendant. Definitely look out for a video on from me, because I'm in their Discord, and more than likely they will have already dropped some additional information. In regards,
that's the one from the Mass Effect people, right?
No, that's Archetype Entertainment. That's Exodus.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to do a video on that one too, because I need to get more. I haven't heard anything from Archetype in a while, so there's some things I need to catch up on in regards to details about what they're doing. But no, Nexon is the First Descendant is like a looter shooter. It's the one that's kind of like similar to like Destiny and not the Division, but Warframe. So I'm looking forward to those. There's a lot to get into. I mean, like, there's DLC. When was the DLC for the roguelike DLC for God of War is next week, right? The 12th?
Yeah, on the 12th. Yep.
There was stuff that they were showing us that was coming. I can't remember what it was for the 11th.
Final Fantasy's now.
Yeah, Final Fantasy DLC with Shadow Drop. There's a lot of Shadow Drops for tonight. So there's so much to get into. There's games I need to add to my wish list. I'm basically going to be just like trying to record video, like getting like stuff to record video so I can cut up, edit videos and get my content out. But there was a lot to see tonight, and it was good to see. It was good to see.
I want to honorable mention. I'm sorry, I want to honorable mention Tales of Kenzara. That looked dope.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And then what was the other one, SloMo? The anime looking one with the three characters that were like.
Oh yeah.
Like early in the show. Early in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
so much stuff, man.
It looked like something that you would see from the Devolver Digital. It's just much. Yeah. Oh man, it was a good show, man. Windblown. Thank you,
Windblown.
Brian. Windblown.
Brian.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There was also another one. What was the one where it had the? It looked like it was like Souls-ish combat, but it was like animated or something. Like that one looked pretty good too. They just had so much going on that I was happy to see.
The first Berserker.
Yeah, that's it. The first Berserker. Yeah.
Yep, that looked crazy too, man. Man, tell you, man, wallet, time, all that's about to take a hit.
Dude, seriously, man. How is it when you had the money to buy the games, but you don't have the time?
I always say, man, time is a commodity, man. It's the same.
Yep. It's the biggest commodity.
Yeah. Yep.
And I like reading. I like reading books too. Damn it! Like, how are we supposed to do all this?
I got you, man.
Come on, somebody. Do they have time DLC? We need time DLC. That's what
my book reading has suffered very badly with the 9 games that I play. I'm gonna go ahead and get you guys out of here so that we can go on with the go to sleep tonight or do whatever else we gotta do. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us, Eric and Ramon. You guys are always welcome as usual. Eric, let everyone know where they can find you, sir.
Yeah, you can just find me on Twitter, man. EC Jackson with an X. Just out there trying to, make people laugh, sharing stupid memes, stupid thoughts. We need to laugh more often, man. People too serious with this stuff.
Yeah,
everything.
Big facts.
Yeah, that's where you can find me, man.
Awesome. And Ramon, by the way, I have all you guys' contact stuff in the description of the video. So if anyone wants to check them out on their socials, please do so.
Thank you.
Ramon, let everyone know where they can find you as well and what you got going on, man.
Well, first off, thank you for having me on the show. It's always awesome. It's like this is something that I really look forward to. So, I mean, I really enjoy doing this with you guys. So thank you. And you guys can find me pretty much everywhere. If you type in my name, like literally, if you just Google or like Facebook or Twitter, you'll find me, just Ramon Terrell. So all you got to do is look that up. And I am currently waiting to hear on something that I can't talk about because I signed an NDA. There is no news. I hope there will be news in the future, but as these things go, it's usually a 70-30 shot that there won't be news, but you never know. So anyway, the only thing that I've done recently that's coming up and it's pushed back to March is Homeworld 3. So I have a small role in that. So be on the lookout for that. And other than that, just playing games and trying to, get books written and so forth. So thanks everybody. It's been a blast.
Yeah, let me say some my mom raised me better than this. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the invite.
No problem, man.
Reaching out to think about me, man. Yeah, I should have led with that before, but yeah, thank you, man. I always love being here with you guys and chopping it up. Ramon is always good to podcast with you, brother. So,
no doubt, man.
Appreciate it.
Forte.
Yo.
When you gonna finally drop a video, man?
Guess what?
I'm messing with him. Yeah.
No, you're not. You're not. You're actually not. I was talking to Rand the other day, and he was doing C Money in them show and Doodle, and they were talking about it. He brought me up a couple of times about content creating, telling me to make videos and stuff, and I didn't know that. You kind of just get down on it sometimes because it's a grind. So it especially when I don't shortchange it, I literally put a lot into those, like 3-4 hours, 5 hours, sometimes making a video that's 10 minutes long. So we definitely gonna get back to it because it's enough people that actually still want stuff like that. So that's gonna be coming. Probably not this month because this month's crazy still. Probably starting the new year. But with that being said, I do want to say I appreciate E coming through, Ramon coming through, being here with the homie SloMo, because I couldn't be here at the beginning of the show because I had other obligations. And when SloMo asked me who should be on here, you were the first two people I mentioned because you guys are literally DPS. Like if we had a 4-member panel, this would be it right here, or the beginnings of it. And that's how much we think of you guys, and we really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your days to come do this with us on these special occasions. So thank you, and we are honored to have you guys. So appreciate that. But with that being said, Gaming Forte, you already know YouTube and Twitter. Check us out over there. DPS next week for 159 will be on my channel, so we're gonna have a good time over there. We're probably gonna still talk about the fallout of the Game Awards. People are gonna be upset on both sides because their favorite game probably didn't win, and we're gonna have conversations probably about that throughout the week, and plus all the other good things that come out over the course of the week. So with that being said, I will go down channel members real quick. We got the homie Donnell Brown, we got FTW, we got Joey the Phantom Kraken, we got Black Card, Neil S, Erodimus, True Serum, Brat, Basement Radio Arcade Podcast, Stardust Acero, Ramon Terrell, Hargy Shani, Corey Hill, SloMoBackSlap, DJ Oris, and that guy Smitty. Definitely always want to shout you guys out because you guys rock, and you definitely support us in a way that we do not. You don't have to, and we appreciate that. And with that, you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy the games you're playing. I'll be playing Avatar, and we see you guys next week.
See, man, just time, money, the whole.
Man, it's too much. It's too many games out here, bro.
Man.
It is way too many games out here.
They need to slow down, man. They need to slow down.
All right, I'll do my side, the channel member topics, and then I'll also discuss what I got going on. So shout out to FTW, Donnell Brown, J0387, Erodimus, Enrique, Hargy Shani, True Serum, Trevor Birdsong, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Gaming Forte, Corey Hale, Stardust Acero, and that guy Smitty. We appreciate you guys for being members, and I really appreciate the support that you give us on a monthly basis. And for me, videos wise, expect a video from First Descendant. Expect a video on a lot of stuff. Windblown, I think I'm gonna do a video on that one. First Descendant, and there was a couple of other ones. I need to just go back through everything and look again because there was a lot of games I'm thinking like I need to really get on that. Oh, Archetype Entertainment, of course, and Exodus. That's definitely about to be a something that you can expect whenever there's new news about that or any content about that I'm definitely going to be going in and really give you guys the details on it. So look out for that in the future. We're getting out of here. It's 12 minutes to midnight. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I hope you guys enjoyed this show, as well as the Video Game Awards. We're out.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace. Go Blue.
Yeah.